What do you want to play? Hello there friends and strangers, and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks to survival. These days horror movies don't just take place in October. They can happen at any point during the year. So today I'm going to be helping you make sure that you're not the next person to die. There are a few rules you need to follow whenever you're in a horror movie type situation to make sure that you're not dying. The first rule is don't mess with anything that's killed other people before. This one speaks for itself. If someone goes up into the bathroom and lights some candles and does a spooky ritual and then they end up dead later on, don't do the same ritual that led to them being dead. Even if it's a coincidence, why would you risk it? Something that I think goes along with this rule is don't make fun of any urban legends. I'm not saying that I believe in any of this stuff, but if my friend is talking about how he thinks that his sister was killed by a certain evil ghost spirit that he read about on the internet, I'm not going to then go and taunt said evil spirit while no one else is in the house and it's thundering and lightning outside. Why do people even do this? This is like common sense. You don't do this kind of stuff in real life. Why would you do it in a movie? The next rule is be as fast as possible. This one's fairly obvious. Whenever there's someone who's about to die in a horror movie, they're always moving really slowly towards a noise that they just heard. So, whenever you hear a noise, move very quickly away from that noise. This next one is a bit hard to deal with because it could cost you a lot of money. But even if you just spent your entire life savings on this house and you find out later that a bunch of people died in this house or it's supposedly haunted, I would recommend you immediately sell or get rid of that house in any way possible. Burn it to the ground if you have to. I'm not living in a house with a ghost in it. If I was, I would leave that house no matter what. Everybody talks about this one. Everybody says that if they were in a horror movie, they would just get rid of the house, but no one ends up doing it. There are actually stories of people who are still currently living in a house that they believe to be haunted. Even if nobody's actually died yet, why would you continue to be in this house that you yourself personally believe there is a ghost inside of who is trying to murder you? If you lived in an apartment building and the guy who was next door to you was being really creepy and was definitely planning on murdering you later, wouldn't you find a different apartment building to live in? But no, they never do. They just keep living in the haunted house. I don't know why. I would never do that. The next thing, if you believe that someone has been murdered, even if it's by a ghost, call the police. Now, usually what happens in these movies is that one person believes that there's a ghost of some kind, and then the police say that there is no such thing as ghosts, and then someone dies. And then they're just like, there's no need to call the police, they didn't believe me last time. I would like to think that if I was a police officer and I told someone to call me if anything happened, that they would call me when someone turned up dead. The next one is simple, but it doesn't cross a lot of people's minds. If you find out that there is some kind of secret spot that the teenagers go to kiss and mac on each other, never go to that spot. There is a man with a hook of some kind just chilling up there at all times. I'm not sure why, but this very specific stereotype is in a lot of horror movies. If there is a place where teenagers go to mac on each other, there is going to be a man with some kind of hook up there to kill all of them. This next one you don't have to do all the time, but I would recommend during the especially scary months like October, you would do it. Don't spend any time with people your age. If you are a teenager and you have friends who are teenagers, at least one of them is going to be doing something that the murderer doesn't like, and then he's going to kill all of you. The rest of the year, I would just say don't hang out with people who, when they accidentally kill someone, they refuse to call the police. Speaking of which, always call the police. It's a lot better to get charged for manslaughter than it is for you to be haunted for the rest of your life and then murdered by a ghost. The absolute worst thing that could happen in the world is that you get a life sentence in prison or multiple life sentences in prison to the point where you're never going to leave prison. But at the same time, you never get haunted by a ghost and die. Isn't that so much better? Even if I knew that I would never get caught for killing this person, I'm still 100% positive that their ghost or someone who knows about the murder, they would come after me and murder me next. And the final thing I want to say is just be a good person. This one spawns less from horror movies and more from just crime shows in general and other things that have to do with crime. Whenever there's a whole bunch of people just being jerks, suddenly dying, that's when you know that whoever's killing these people is out for people who are mean and rude to people. And this happens a lot. So whenever you see someone, even if you're having a horrible day and it's the worst day you've ever had in your life, no matter how you're feeling at that particular moment, you should smile and be nice to them. Because you never know if they're going to end up being a serial killer later, and if they are, they might come after you because you were kind of a jerk that one time they met you. Those are all my tips for ways to not die in this world. There are a lot more ways that are a lot more realistic, but those ones aren't as fun. That's all I have for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed it. We are actually filming on location for the movie this week, so I might even have some little extra behind the scenes for you that you can only get here on this channel. So make sure you subscribe. If you have any questions for me, you can leave them in the comments below, or you can even email me, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff is in the description. So until next time, I guess we are done. For now, that is.